Yes, Britain is examining an Islamic State video released over the weekend, which shows militants, including a young boy with a British accent, killing 5 men accused of spying for the West. The propaganda video, which could not be independently verified, threatens Prime Minister David Cameron and vows that IS will one day occupy Britain. And with me here to understand a little bit more, who are those people? Tom Gross, journalist and Middle East commentator. Good evening. Thank you very much
for
joining us. So, who are they? Who are those people, and why are they going and just joining IS in masses?
Well, it's a very difficult question to answer. Let me just quickly say what they're not. We can't group them by, for example, economics, because some of them come from poor backgrounds. Others are well-educated and went to private school and are trainee doctors. We can't group them by geography. We have British members of ISIS in Syria from the north of Scotland in Aberdeen. We have them from Wales in Cardiff. We have them from London. So, and I don't think it's a result of racism either, because in Britain there are many Hindus and Sikhs and other ethnic minorities, and they are not blowing up anybody or chopping off heads. So what is it? Two things. First of all, it's massive incitement, not just on the internet, but in mosques. And Britain, the British authorities, successive British governments have not taken seriously radical Islam for too long. They've allowed Saudi Arabian princes and others to fund extremist imams in mosques, and they've really been inciting people. But the second thing, which is more complicated in a way, almost all British Muslims are Sunnis. And in Syria today, you have Assad supported by the Shia Persian Iranians, essentially committing ethnic cleansing, even in a way genocide in some respects. And if you look at it from a Sunni point of view, everyone is bombing the Sunnis now. The Russians, the Americans, the British, the French, the Australians, even Denmark is bombing the Sunnis. So I think it's very important for Britain and other Western powers to make clear that there is some political solution for the majority Sunni population of Syria that will not allow Assad and his Iranian and Russian backers to stay control. I'm not saying, obviously you have to deal with a very harsh response to the actual ISIS terrorists, but it will be harder for them to recruit if there's not a perception that everyone's bombing the Sunnis and and ISIS are doing their defending, so to speak.
You know, we saw the United States and France taking measures like the Patriot Act. Do you think that Britain will get to this kind of, let's say, state of mind or state of...
Well, Britain, like France, is talking about stripping people of citizenship and so on, and it's talking about quite draconian measures. But it's all very well stopping people going to Syria. The problem is you then have militants staying in Britain who are quite capable of carrying out terror attacks without ever going to Syria for training. Some of those attacking Paris in November had never been to Syria. They grew up in Belgium or France. And so the problem is not just about Syria. The problem is about how to stop militant Islam, you know, taking control of people's minds. And it's what I want to say is not only young people. Some of those British people are in their mid-40s that have gone to Syria. Some of them are converts. So it's a very complicated problem.
Yes, definitely. Tom Gross, thank you very much for this.
Okay.